Hello. Wow, our microphone is working well today. Woo! Just in time for Jenny, who doesn't need one. Anyway, welcome to our June 25th, 2026 Rotary meeting. And Lisa will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Does anyone else feel like there's like crazy energy in this room today? Oh my God. Okay, here we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And in all that we say and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Cheat sheet, too much. I had to race home and race back. Whew, that was quick. Okay, and our inspiration is Pat and Kelly, a tag team. That sounds fun.
I realized when the lady came to talk to us about the why, that she might remember a song that I learned in high school about the why. I went to a why group for a while, and the song has meant a lot to me all my life. It's just very meaningful. And so I asked her, and she said, "Oh yes, we still sing that at the why groups today." Our why doesn't, but it's such a neat inspirational song, and thinking about the why, that I asked Kelly to sing it with me.
Okay, ready?
If we can grow as simply as common blades of grass, both tall and straight as trees grows to the sky, then we will learn to know and understand ourselves and others, what we do and why. We, the younger generation, are striving to build a better world. Peace and unity, freedom and brotherhood, this we have set to be our goal. There we go.
Well, and obviously you have met your goal, ladies. Here you are as Rotarians. That is just awesome. Okay, so now do we have visiting Rotarians? We have a whole table up here willing. They're here for announcements as well, but I will definitely say welcome to Roger and Diane Hoover, who are both here from the Wednesday Club. Any other visiting Rotarians that I haven't seen? And do we have any visitors? Any people who would like to invite visitors? If not, I would just like to welcome Michelle, my good friend, who is a weekend member. Oh, here we have.
We'd like to welcome Jerry Lomas. Yay!
Thank you. All right. And once again, hello, Michelle. Great to see you. Okay, let's see here what we got. Oh, I have another exciting, and I certainly want to welcome a Rotary person who has not been here, who is often on Zoom, and we see his lovely face. But I'm so excited that he's here today. And for him, I have his Paul Harris Award. So James Dunn, come on up. Congratulations, joining the club. Yes, you bet. And so for all those who don't know, it's a very important honor.
And for all those who don't know why I got this award, is because I am the zoomiest Rotarian in the history of Rotary.
But we do enjoy seeing your face, and we're very glad that you still continue to join us here. Okay, yes. Okay, just a second here. Oh yeah, that's Roger. Roger's here from the Wednesdays. Thank you for signing up. We don't all sign up, but like I said, I've gotten pretty good here at knowing faces that I don't know very well. So I'm good mood to thank you. And all cards were sold, correct? One card left. Who can race back the fast? Oh, Barbara's got her hand up. No, it's sold. So much for that. Okay, so first of all, for announcements that I have is I just want to say congratulations to our PorchFest team. It was awesome. What a great, great day that was. And it was lovely to see so many green volunteers out there with their little, I mean, that says a lot for what our Rotary is. And from the people, I have some neighbors who live really close to that. And they said, one of the women said that she took her dog for a walk shortly after 4 o'clock. And she said, you would never have even thought that there was anything going on just an half an hour before, that we did such an awesome job of cleaning up afterwards. So that comes down to our well-oiled machine that has been working for years. And thank you. And for all of you who have good ideas for what to do this next year, how to make it better, that's what we like to do every time. After the fourth time, I finally got the right email. Gregory Maricopa. And it was really hard. I was up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And I the very last one, I said, I finally got it. Gregory Millard. And then I pushed the button and I went, oh, I did that. So I immediately corrected it, and it is Gregory Maricopa, because that's where he's from in Arizona. So you have to think Maricopa, Arizona, .rotary. So Gregory Maricopa .rotary@gmail.com. So if you have anything that you input you want to give, we're kind of keeping a list of it so that when we get back together and talk about how we did at PorchFest, we can have those ideas. So another announcement, Diane is here to speak to us about the upcoming RCC Bowl.
Hi, everyone. Hello. We are going to be taking signups for the Rogue Bowl concert up until and on the day of the concert. So even if you don't sign up ahead of time and pay, come on out. It's going to be a ton of fun. Richard Bush from the Friday Club, it's his band. And so we've done this 2 other times, and it's a blast. It's really fun and kind of a private concert like atmosphere. And it's a fundraiser for the Fork Project that we do with our partners at the Josephine County Food Bank.
Oh, and if the money goes towards Fork, am I correct? So that is a very important thing. Okay, another thing here that we have is I only got one flyer, but I think I'm going to put it in the back table. If any of you on Saturday want to go out to another important Rotary event, it's the Lake Selmac Siskiyou Folk and Bluegrass Festival. It's at Lake Selmac, and believe it or not, I have never been to Lake Selmac, so I'm going to try to make it out there this Saturday. Fork in the Road, hula, so they have hula dancing, Americana, borderline music, Quartz Creek, the Ant Hill, who was at PorchFest, and Dangerously and the Rattlin' Three. So music is from 11 to 6. Gates open at 10. That's $25 per person, and it does cost $5 to park. No dogs, no outside alcohol. So don't tuck your cute little dog in the car thinking he's going to be out there because he can't go. So anyway, I'll put this in the back here in a few minutes, or have somebody take it back there, and you can take a picture if you're interested in going to that. So that also supports the Cave Junction Rotary Club. Okay, let's see. Steering committee, July 29th, we talked about that, having a Zoom meeting to talk about the future of what used to be the Duck Derby, which they're thinking about doing a Christmas tree lighting at Reinhardt Park. So there's a steering committee that's been put together, and Brad Converse has put together a great business plan, put a lot of work into it. So they really would like as many Rotarians as possible on July 29th between 6:30 and 7:30 to bring your questions and your concerns to that meeting so we can get things worked out. And just because I am always in the know, there's another fun volunteer committee. If you love old cars and you're a big fan of the Back to the 50s, the Cruise the Rogue is July 23rd through 26th, and they're looking for volunteers to be involved with that because it takes a lot of people. So if you're a person, and you'll get a special ticket to get in and be part of the activities down there. So see me, it's actually through the Chamber of Commerce. So we hope that we can get some Rotarians who are hanging around that weekend to give them some time. And let's see, who first? I think I'll have, okay, Roger and Patrice, sorry, are up here to give an attendance. I know. Did you hear what he just said?
No, I'm actually up here and Roger forced me into coming. No, actually, first of all, I want to say thank you for everybody bringing food for green bags. And I know you're going to talk about that at some point, but I'm just going to mention it because Roger's here for something else. The club brought in 1,983 pounds of food for us. And we did beat their club, so he's here so I can beat him up again. No, anyway, but I wanted to tell you that we have been getting, with very large donations, we've been able to purchase food. And we've been purchasing a lot of peanut butter because that is one of the biggest items that proteins in general. But now we have a request from pantries for jelly. So we're calling July Jelly July. So if anybody wants to bring jelly throughout July, well, I'll take it back to the food bank. And all the pantries are going to be really happy to have jelly to go with their peanut butter. It has to have some kind, I know. Yeah, it does have to have a label on it. Yeah. Yeah. So Roger is on our board and one of our best volunteers ever. So of course, when he heard about it, he wants to have a competition. So that's why Roger's here.
We want Christmas back is really what we want. Yes, Jelly July. I throw down the gauntlet now. And so bring in jelly. We'll go by ounces, not by pounds. And last year, I was caught at the Wednesday meeting getting cash and then going to the little grocery store next to Walmart over there and buying heavy stuff. So I'm allowing you, and Janie gave me the seal of approval. You can give cash, and I'll even go buy for you if you want at that little grocery store next to Walmart. So Jelly July, it's out. We haven't figured out who's going to sing or who's going to paint whose house or whatever we're going to do, but we'll do something. Then also, I just wanted to announce while I'm up here, this Saturday, day after tomorrow, Josephine County Food Bank Day at the Grants Pass Downs. So 2 cans, they will waive your entry fee and you get in there. And I will be there along with my wife and we'll be collecting. And so we're looking forward to that. And then also graciously, the 4th of July food truck roundup, Patrick and Misty, who own Jimmy's over there, and they have Blazing Monkeys, has once again this year asked the food bank to be there as their nonprofit of choice. So if you're going out to see the food trucks, the concert, the fireworks over at Reinhardt Volunteer Park, the All Sports Park, the food bank will be there. So thank you so much for that. And also yesterday we had a great speaker. Your red badge, Victoria Lopez Garrett, came with, fortunately, my daughter, who they both work for the state of Oregon. And they spoke. And it was wonderful. She looks at me, she goes, she goes, by me being here, I think I get my blue badge now. So I'm glad that we could do it. And and to all you red badges, good luck. And anybody can come to the Wednesday meeting and get closer to your blue badge. All right. Thanks so much for having us.
The gauntlet has been thrown down, so I just love a little competition, as does our group. So thank you, and welcome, Daniela. And I want to do a special throw out to Daniela because she worked her butt off this year to try to help the transitioning with the PorchFest, and so it was a lot of work on her plate. So thank you, Daniela, for it's appreciated. Okay, if that's all the announcements, then oh, sorry. I thought you were just sitting there so you could be next to me.
Yes, I just found out that people are forgetting that tonight is our social at the weekend brewery, I used to call it. What is now? Weekend beer company. So 5 o'clock. And for the volunteers, it's 4:30. Okay.
And you've never met if you've never met my husband, he is actually going to be there tonight. So this is, and I have my two youngest daughters. One of them just flew in from Austin, Texas. So she will be there as well. So I kind of had to tell them that I wasn't cooking anything. And it was if they wanted to eat, they were coming with me. But you got to do what you got to do. So, okay. So today's Rotary is all about me and the transition. This is, sorry. It's time to pass the baton to Jennifer. So I just put together a little PowerPoint, kind of talking a little bit about my year. I guess I should have known ahead of time. I would have taken a lot more pictures than I did, because that was one of those things I was like, oh, they probably like to look at some pictures and I don't have any. So I spent a lot of time on Facebook trying to save pictures, move them over. And I have all sorts of pictures right now on my computer, but I wasn't able to fit them all on the PowerPoint because I didn't think you wanted to sit here for 3 hours and watch it. But I will say what a year it was, what a great club we have. You obviously, you can't do a presidency and have a successful presidency without a great club. And so it makes me more than ever, as I look back, realize that it's you guys that make it work, not the president. I will continue on. Go ahead. So the first thing you have to do as a president, and Jenny's doing that right now, is to set goals. And they really want they really want you to increase your membership. And I'm going to warn you, they're going to get 1 million emails from the district and a lot of pressure, because North American Rotarians are decreasing in numbers. Everywhere else in the world, Rotarians are increasing in numbers, but in North America, for whatever reason, Rotarians are declining. And so there's a big push to say, okay, things have changed. How can we get more members? And personally, I like around 75 because I don't want to get huge. I don't like a huge club. I would rather stay in a smaller club. But one thing that we need to do is try to bring in younger people. And in this day and age, younger people work. My daughters, they work hard. I mean, they're both home working from home right now. So I would still like to see, and we've talked about it, putting together an after hours group or something like that. But I've realized I'm not that person to organize it, because I am not an after hours person. I learned a lot about myself this year, as we do when we take a role like this. And when I was a counselor, I learned a lot about the city that I would never have known. And as a Rotarian president, I learned a lot about Rotary that I never would have learned. And it has been good. So these are some of my goals. I said that we would get to 75 members. We did not, but we could have. I mean, the reason we didn't is that because a lot of people went away and moved. We lost Parker and Bonnie. They moved back to Georgia. We lost, so we lost people, and that happens. And you forget about the fact that you kind of have to go backwards to go forward. So we were sitting at 72 when I said, oh yeah, we can get to 75. And then we went down to 65. And I went, oh, whoops. So we did get 6 members, and we are now new 6 members. And thank you all. Wonderful. That's one of the highlights of my group. And so now we are at 72. So maybe Jenny, or 71. Now Jenny can get back up to 75. But anyway, so that to me is good. I said that I would hold 6 socials. I kind of had to cheat a little bit. The very first one we had in July was out on the deck at, which was lovely, at Tap Rock. I really enjoyed that, and some people came to that. And then August's was canceled because of Jed's illness and Patty's. So I think we kind of kept up. I might have to sneak that one of the socials was when I drugged some people to my line dancing class, but hey, it worked. I got some line dancers going. I had no problem getting 60 participants in service activities because we were an awesome club. You look at the picture, as I will see it, of our backpack, and you see how many people show up for that. Saw how many at PorchFest showed up for that. The one that we do, service of above self, Lisa, is just incredible. And then, of course, we do the shoes that fit, and that doesn't get as many people, but only because it's during the day. So it's hard for people to get there, but that was one we did. So we made our goals on our annual fund. Our goal was $10,000 for the annual fund. We brought in over $13,000. Thank you. Don't you generous people, you. Polio Plus goal was 5,000 and we brought in $7,500. So that's great. They also want us to promote leadership development. So for Steve Rowe, who's not here, but if he's online, thank you, Steve, for showing up at the district conference because I was the only Rotarian that went, but I saw Steve there. So I got my two. Thank you very much, Steve. And then also, I did go to the Rotary Leadership Institute, and I will tell you, it was a great event. If you are all interested in how Rotary really works and really learning about what Rotary does, it is a great event. And nobody from our club went, but I did. Colleen Martin was there, Kate Lasky was there, James from the Friday Club was there. So we really had a great time. There was a lot of grants past representation, and everyone who was there went, wow, there's a lot about that I didn't realize about Rotary. So that is a great opportunity to go. And I think there'll be one in Ashland coming up. And then I thank Janie, and I know Janie's trying to keep pushing off to somebody else for getting the Facebook page going, but it's Janie that kept it going for me. So thank you. And I will offer up some help in the future for that one, because I do realize that's a job, updating the Facebook page and being a public person. So there we go. So those were some of the goals that I set in the website for the Rotary. Go ahead and hit the next one. So what did I hope for personally? Well, there was a couple things that I came in doing. Is I really think that Rotary people need to be recognized out in the community. And the way to do that is to wear bright green and have a back that says Rotarians at work, and get out there and do things, because that's where people see what Rotary can do. So that is why I brought on the neon green t-shirts, and there's still a few of them left and we can order more. But I just think that in anything we get out and do, we need to wear them so that people can see that we're actually out doing things. I also wanted to be more in tune with the business community, and I've appreciated Bela bringing in different businesses and having them come in. I went to their leadership team, because every year they do a leadership group, and talk to them about service and what they can do in the community. And I came into the same problem we have over and over again. People who are young are working a lot. And the only real way that I see to bringing them is that, I guess about a week ago, they have a young professional group through and they went out to the food bank. So they actually offered to say, hey, other people come with us. And so I think basically what we need to do is be aware of those things and go to other events, wearing our shirts, of course, and helping them and let them see what we can do. And I also kind of made it to work with other clubs. And I think that we have done that. I know every month I ran a president's meeting. I ended up being the leader and the secretary and the whole 9 yards on that one. But we had a lot of good in and out. We did come up with a steering committee to try to move forward and bring all of us Rotarians together with a big project. We had the 4 Club social at Tap Rock, and that was a big success. I enjoyed that. And just by announcing and promoting their other events, I think that's important. So those are some things that I personally tried to get this year. So I also pushed for vocational awards. This year, rather than doing 1, we went for 5. We've had 3 of them so far. Unfortunately, of course, Scott Stoddard was not able to come in, but we did put something in the newspaper for him and donated some money to the Courier in his honor. Then we did have Lois McMillan, who is a teacher, and Melissa Vieira. They both were honored, and I think they both appreciated. They do great things in the community. We will be having Margaret Varner will be here in July, and I'm still working on getting Michael De La Grange in here, but that's between me and him. He's a busy boy, and he's got busy children. So we're still working on that. Anyway, so that's something that I did get a city street as opposed to the Parkway, because I was worried about the Parkway. Those cars zipping by at 45 miles an hour is a little bit scary for us older people. So several of us went out, and I didn't take a picture, and I wish I would have. Remind me next time to take a picture. But we did get out and did some cleaning. We have 2 streets actually. We have up right behind Winco, because you want to know how dirty that gets. I mean, we want to talk about trash. You're going to see trash there. So that's where we got most of our trash. And then we went down and did a little one right on D Street, which was very little trash. But then we stopped and had breakfast afterwards, and that was very pleasant. So that was nice. PorchFest transitioning this year, trying to change from the old crew to a new crew, tried to do more technology, and hopefully we can improve on that and get more happening. And of course, it was a successful event, so I feel really positive about that. And hopefully we can get more people involved and help us with the technology because older folks don't quite get that. Okay, what I learned, you're working with volunteers, and Rotary volunteers are the best, but they're also the busiest. So when people can't do things or say, no, they can't, don't take it personal. It's just because we're all very busy people. And we know if you have a job to do, give it to somebody who's busy and it's going to get done. And we all know that for a fact. So that is what I learned, and to learn to delegate. And that goes to the communication. I'm not, I learned a lot about myself, and I'm not a great communicator. I can get up here and talk, but I am not really good for asking for help and trusting and trusting them to and just let them do it. And there are some things I really don't want to do. I realized, no, I am not going to get out and party at 7 o'clock, between 5 and 7 with the after dinner group. I got 2 men in my life I'm taking care of. I can't do that. And I also thought I was going to jump up in the morning on Wednesday mornings and go down to the greeters and say, hey, this, and this. Well, guess what? I'm not a morning person. All those years I thought I was a morning person. I used to get up and teach. I'd got up at 6 o'clock every morning, and we were there by 7:15. Well, guess what? When you don't have to be there, you sleep in and you get used to sleeping in. So that's just been something that has not been me. So I learned a lot about myself, and I learned I don't like to ask for money. I am not a fundraiser. It's painful. Anytime I said I was going to go get money, that night before I would just have nightmares and I'd crawl out of bed that day. And they were always really nice, but I realized that's not what I love. And I need to learn to relax, which my children have told me that from day one. I need to practice gratitude and trust the people in your club, because you are what makes it go, not me. And so I just need to roll with the punches and just know that I've got a team to back me up. Okay, so here we go. And then I just took a bunch of pictures kind of through the year. Just once again, this is when some of us went to Art Along the Rogue and volunteered with our cute little vests, Mary and Zara. So it's again giving to community. So we went to Art Along the Road and helped out there. Then, of course, in October, we had our first service above self from Hidden Valley, which ironically, the principal of Hidden Valley's wife was one of my student teachers in my classroom. So small world. And of course, we had Chris come down and visit. DG, and then of course Halloween. I mean, how can you not say that is just not the funnest party that we could ever have? And I sure hope the Sweeneys never leave our club, if nothing else than to give us this wonderful place to have a party. Jennifer's wonderful hostess, and there you can see it was wonderful to see Susie there with us. So go ahead, I've got a couple of those. There we go, our winner, Claudia, you were the star for sure, and then some of our other winners who we had just a great fun, and I hope that tradition continues. And then, of course, at our meeting, we had a lot of witches brewing. So thank you, Kelly, for bringing a little bit of witchcraft into the group. And we also had a lot of people who got their Paul Harris. And so I think that was Jim's like +7 and Jolene's like +3 or something. I mean, and that is an honor. Welcome, Jim. And Pat Bath, I had a picture of you too, but they will only let me squeeze 2 pictures on a slide. And I knew you guys didn't really want to listen for, an hour and a half so I showed all my pictures, but I do appreciate how important Paul Harris is now that I have become the president, and that's where good things happen. And then, of course, one of the things I did bring in is the Visit Grants Pass. I love this photograph. Dan Buck came with Griffin Storm. They gave a presentation, and they gave an update on tourism and how they measure it, which is so different than my generation when we had all those visitor guides that we just stuck at all the chambers and that sort of thing. Now they do it based on clicks and likes, and it's just a different world. I did get, so go back just a minute. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to. I did get the $5,000 grant. And so that's where Daniela really came in and helped work with Griffin and, to learn the back end and try to find out all the flaws with our system, which we did have some links. We got to learn all about the links and how to have clean links. But we did use it, and I did hear there were success at PorchFest with people being able to use that link to donate. So that's a good thing. So thank you, Daniela. And then Mary, Judy, Dawn, Deb, you guys all rock as fundraisers for getting out there. I mean, there's a lot of work behind the scenes that goes with that PorchFest, and I truly appreciate that. And Kelly getting all the bands. I mean, there's just it's a fine oiled machine. And Tommy, I mean, I just recognized how valuable you are to the club. So thank you for all of that. So now we go on. And so there we go. Our backpack filling. Yay. So there we have, you can see right there what there's probably 30 people. My daughter's there too, as a matter of fact. But that's always a great event that we do in December. So it's, you know, brings in people that don't always come, and they come for that event. So that's something that we will continue with, I'm hoping. And where's Jody? I saw Jody at one point in time. Oh, Jody, there we go. We hope you're not retiring from Rotary. That's, oh no. Yeah, we count on Jody. She's a rock star. So there we go. And then of course, our last challenge with the Wednesday Club, and we knew they cheated. So it's just like, but we won despite their cheating. So that's the important thing, that we won despite their cheating. And we did. We almost brought in a ton. So that's great. And I hope too, and I will continue to do Green Bag it. I'm kind of a hiatus right now, but eventually keep that going. And I would love to. I've gone out in the past to the food bank. It is fun to put together bags and do that sort of thing. So keep us to when we can do that. So they came, and then of course we always do Operation Joy, and thank you, Janie. That's another one that we do. And I know a lot of people spend a lot of time writing those, sitting in the couch come October, November, notes, so that we can get that out to nursing homes and other people who don't have that. And of course, our successful Shoes That Fit. Once again, Judy, thank you. Jody, thank you for that. It's a great, this year we had 164 pairs of shoes. We went out to the Boys and Girls Club. It was awesome. Unfortunately, like I said, it has to go during the school day, because that's when the kids are there to pick up their shoes. But it is truly a great event, and to see the looks on their faces when they get new shoes. You know, there's always one or two, but for the most part, 162 of them were thrilled with their shoes. You know, we got kids now. And then I dragged Kelly with me to the, yes, remember we went out to the, it was Chamber of Commerce. So they had a Chamber of Commerce event that they have every year in February. And Allison was there as well, too, because obviously she works for the Boys and Girls Club. But they honored Steve as a Citizen of the Year. I mean, who knows? We all know how much Steve deserves everything and every award that he gets, because he is pretty awesome. But that was kind of fun. I think it was fun for Kelly to see that there's a whole nother world of business out in the community. I know. Well, that's just it. That was my world when I was in council, because you didn't know everybody. So it was kind of nice for me to kind of go back and see them all again. And then, of course, this is the vocation awards that we've given. And to me, that's been important, because I really do believe that there's a lot of non-Rotarians that are out there doing super work, and they do need to be recognized for what they do in the community, but they are so busy. It is really hard to nail them down to get them to come in. That's another thing I've learned. And the vocational committee, which I am the lead of, will continue on next year, and we'll talk about how we want to run that. So that was a committee that I had been in charge of. And of course, once again, Janie, I mean, there we go. That was just amazing. And unfortunately, I was at the last girls' basketball game that day, but I heard nothing but absolutely wonderful things. And that's another goal I had. I had to have 2 times that my something that we did in Rotary hit the news. So thank you. That was front page news on KOBI. We also did get something through the Illinois Valley News. And of course, for PorchFest, you saw that we got news. So those are the sorts of things that the district wants to see us doing. And this is something fun that I did with Doug. And this is the thing that was amazing to this, is he was building park structures, because Josephine County Parks is going to do weddings. So they're going to have weddings in some of their parks. So they wanted to have some wedding arches. And so we went out and we built 3 different ones, but this one was, of course, our favorite. So Doug, of course, was out there. The guy in the middle is the guy from the parks. And the other 2 are students from Gladiola. And we know how much Doug does and how hard he works at Gladiola. I mean, they said they feel he's a staff member out there because he has done so much for the kids, which is absolutely wonderful. And notice he's wearing his green shirt. Just saying. Anyway, but the funny thing about it is we were both out there and I was working with him too, and we built that and it was a great opportunity. Doug always has great opportunities that he kind of throws out there. And the girl back in the back, I can't think I remember her name. I'm really bad at names, but the following Thursday, she was the student above self from Gladiola. And neither one of us, and we were working with her the whole time. We were out there for 2 days building these things and we had absolutely no idea. And so she showed up and there she was, service above self. And she was just awesome. She was really, really great. So that just, and of course, anybody who knows the Mussers, if you've been in education for a while in District 7, the Mussers have kind of migrated over to Gladiola and they run a great program over there. So anyway, so Doug's not here. And then of course we had our 4-word speech contest. And I will say behind the scenes, I worked really hard to make sure that every club had a competition because Grants Pass has been they've lost their status. So they have to get back in to be able to do work at the high school. And I'm trying to help them through some connections that I have up at the high school. But we were able to, through the President's Club and really beefing it up, we were able to get all clubs to participate. So that was a really nice thing to see happen. And of course, I had to miss the actual 4-way speech. I can't remember. I think I was back in Texas, actually. But we had 4 winners, and our North Valley won it all, and 4 strong women. So that was really exciting to see that. And then here we have our awesome service above self. I loved Gabrielle because he's going into education, and touches my heart to see somebody young and enthusiastic and really getting into wanting to be around kids, especially elementary kids. So I was really impressed with him. You might get his number, Michelle. He might be able to help you out. Anyway, so we have a wonderful program, and Lisa just does an incredible job with service above self. And that's something as we move forward, there's going to be some things that we talk about between this year and next year with Jenny. And we've talked a little bit about making sure everybody understands that those programs happen because people donate to those programs. That doesn't come from our dues. It's just not how it works. We don't get a grant for service above self. We don't get a grant. I don't think we did get last year for shoes that fit, but we won't. And if we want to keep going, we just need to be thinking about where we want to put our money and how, what programs we want to keep. So that's the sort of thing that we're kind of talking about. So, okay, there we go. Service above self is awesome. I'm so impressed with our new members. I've just been so excited that they've joined us. They're just a great group of people. And we have people, I brought in Michelle, but everybody else brought in somebody else. So that's great. That means you're out talking to people and you're out showing them what we can do in our community. So thank you for that. And then of course, our PorchFest was fun and a lot of volunteers. It was a beautiful day. I would have said thank you, Heavenly Father, many times, because if it had been a week before, it was over 100 degrees, and this weekend it might rain. So it's amazing how lucky it fell for us. And it was a beautiful day, and I heard lots of good stuff, and there you go. There we have our PorchFest, one of our many PorchFests. Some of the people were out cruising around on the golf carts and doing that sort of thing, but yeah, it was great. So it was a great year, and like I said, we always know that if we could do it again, we would do things different. That's just kind of how it runs. You would do things different because you know more. And I would say take a lot of pictures. Yeah, and I look forward, there's a couple things that we still haven't done that I look forward to. We did get a peace pole. So we got a peace pole and we have it, and it's at the Women's Crisis Support Team, but they're waiting to put it up until they figure out exactly how they want it to be. And then we're going to actually have a ceremony. So we will do something peace-wise. I don't know if we'll wait till Peace Month, but we have that on the docket. So that will be something that will continue into next year. And also, I do look forward to the Veterans Village getting, if you've watched and you drive up Hillcrest, I don't know if you've been up Hillcrest, but it's so nice to see the road widened and it's taken, I wanted you to know that in 2015 is when I went on council, and I worked really hard to get sidewalks for the schools Safe Routes to School was a program that they were running. And so I went out with Wade Elliott. It was his first year at the city. He's at the engineer there now, street department. And I went out with some guy who was a grant writer, whatever. And we went to every school and we interviewed all the PTOs, I guess they are now. And we interviewed all the kids and we did surveys and we went out and did all sorts of work. And so we did get money for the Lincoln area, and they're just finishing it up now. So that goes to show 2015, 11 years later, that's how the government works. But that's part of the reason that I came here, because in my experience at the city, government works very slow. It works, but it works very slow, no different than the water treatment plant that once again I fought for from the first day that I was there. And Allen Creek Road, which is still not finished, but is almost finished. Those were the things I started working on in 2015. So when I worked on those, it was great, but you don't see it right away. And by that time, the next council is getting credit for it, and you're kind of going, oh, no, 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 no. But you kind of have to let it go. But here you can get things done. You can. And I am so impressed by the things that we do in our club and the various different things we do in our club. I didn't put a picture of Mint because I didn't have a picture there, but that is something that our club continues on the side to work on. So there's always opportunities if you want to cook muffins or make casseroles. Casseroles are big. So that's always something that we can do. And then, like I said, you have, and that's the thing that's wonderful I learned about the grant program. If you have an idea of something that you would really like to see in our community, you can write it up. And sometime before June, you have to put together your proposal and put it in. And chances are you can double the money that we have. And I think they're even more. If we put up 2,000, I think now they give us 3,000 because they realize that. So you can do a lot for $5,000 in the community. So if there is something that you've always kind of thought this would be really fun. As a matter of fact, Janie, I think about you every Tuesday because I am at the senior center. You know that line dancing class that was going too fast? Well, I went to the senior center and they have one on Tuesdays and it doesn't go as fast. So I have really picked it up and I've gone out and seen the garden that our Rotary put together. So that was one of Janie's dreams, was to have a garden out there. So it's just wonderful to see those things that we've done. So keep your mind thinking and going. And then I don't know, with that, I will say if there's any questions or anything that you wanted to ask me, I guess I could answer a few questions. Yes. I will. Hello.
In delegating, also, asking for pictures. Janie and I, have all kinds of pictures. So if you ever need pictures for anything, this club, we find them. I'll be counting on you. Yeah.
Think about, but I also realized when I was out leading the people cleaning the streets, I should have taken the pictures. That's what I'm saying. I could have taken more pictures too. So that's on me. So anyway, but no, I do appreciate this. That's good. So yeah, and I did want to say one other thing I did, and I never got a count of how many people did literacy this year were actually involved with a literacy program. But this year I just kind of threw myself into it and I went 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays all year. I think I missed one day. And it brought back the joy of teaching to me because I had kind of soured on it. If you've kind of been in the system for a long time, it's never the kids that really get you. It's the adults and the paperwork and the bureaucracy and all that ridiculousness. So it was so nice to walk into a classroom and know I could just walk in. The kids loved to see me. I could work and help them read. And then I would read a story to them and they'd all want to jump up and give me a hug. They were kindergartners, of course. So it was just so wonderful that it was just like, oh, that's why I went into teaching. And I did love it all the years that I did. It's just like anything, for those of you who've been teachers, you do love it and you totally love it. But there's also, burnout. And burnout is a real thing. So anyway, so I also did that. And that's one other thing, service project, I guess. When I started talking about all the service projects, it's like, well, I don't know how many people wrote Christmas cards. I don't know how many people actually did a little literacy program. And one thing I will say, and this is something, because we're going to make the board smaller. I mean, a certain amount of it will be attrition because we realized in reading our bylaws, which I did read before, but I didn't notice, that as the past president, you stay on the board 1 year and then you're off. And so that will mean that Judy and Jim actually are off. And Jim has already said, hey, he's ready. But there's so much work that can be done in committees that's where I think a lot of energy needs to be put, is back into the committees, because the committees are what really gets the work done. So anyway, so I look forward, and I'm going to pass the baton. Here it is. This baton to who I know is going to be an absolutely wonderful president, and I look forward to helping you in any way possible.
Thank you. For me, today's all about Val and celebrating her. I've been thinking about her a lot because we are celebrating her tonight, and I know we've had 44 people RSVP to be there tonight. I spent 3 hours decorating your cake this morning. I've been making raspberry filling since Monday, and it's a beautiful cake. I'm really excited. So if you like cake, you should come get it. It's at Valerie's personal request of yellow cake with raspberry filling and chocolate frosting. It's gorgeous. So I'm really excited to somehow get that there tonight. And I've learned so much also about myself in the training coming up to this point. Is Lutz here today? So that means I only have 2 of my first term teachers from RCC here in the room. And oftentimes I have all 4. I consider this very much an RCC connection for me. I'm born and raised in Grants Pass. You're going to hear a lot from me in the next year, so I'm not going to do too much talking today. But I'm just really honored to be invested in by all of you as your leader. I've been to many of our trainings, and even watching Val's presentation, I think we do our things, we show up when we're supposed to, and sometimes it's easy to forget how much we really do accomplish. This is an amazing club filled with people that I love, and I am so proud of what we do. And I do not say it lightly when I say we are a bunch of do-gooders in the very best way possible. We take that and put a positive spin on it. So thank you all. I really am looking forward to sharing my goals with you, sharing a little bit more about my history and how I got connected to Rotary, and just celebrating all of you and supporting you. That's my biggest goal, is to be transparent and honest. And I know this is an unusual thing, but my goal is to enter the year with a balanced budget. And Gina, Marie, and I have worked really hard to do that. And we're going to have a lot of conversations about that and explain why we're doing it that way, and that we're still going to be able to do all the great things that we want to do. So thank you, Val. I'm really excited to celebrate.
And I don't know who our Sergeant of Arms is. I did a big question mark. I know. Well, I thought so. It said, well, to be announced. And I did get an email, and I realized that the value of those red badges have just hit the roof. So that's kind of exciting. I'll let Greg explain.
Thank you, President Valerie. One thing Valerie didn't mention was it's important to have a sense of humor if you're the club president. And fun fact about Jenny is that she does stand-up comedy on the side, so I think we're in good hands. I'm going to give you 2 minutes at your tables to answer 2 questions. If you're a red badge member, you get to ask any of the blue badge members at your table something about Rotary that you don't understand, some kind of why do we do this, why do we do that, who does this, who does that, that kind of answering your mystery questions. And then we want the blue badge members to learn at least one thing about the red badge members that are at their table. So I think we might need to move Anybody around? Everybody has a red badge. Member Patrice. Okay? Okay, 2 minutes. One minute. Okay, finish up, please. As you're finishing up, let me just quickly remind people the purpose of the red badge is to visually identify newer members. So it's not a badge of dishonor. And it's not unusual to spend a good deal of time earning your blue badge. But the purpose of the red badge is for the blue badge members to be able to identify the newer members and try to help make them feel welcome. The purpose of the blue badge checklist, or how you get from a red badge to a blue badge, is to orient you to Rotary. So there's a list of about 6 or 8 activities that each red badge member has to complete. And we assign a blue badge buddy to the red badge members to try to help them along that path and learn more about Rotary. So let's start with the crowded table in the back with our soon-to-be president-elect Greg Millard. I think Sue Parrish is the red badge member there. You have 2 questions to answer. One is from the red badger to tell us something they learned about Rotary at the table, or about one of the blue badge members. And then we'll have a blue badge member tell something that they learned about the red badge member. So, Mary.
So we do have a fun fact with our red badge, Sue. Danielle is thinking of one. And Sue, she has many talents, many. And one in particular, she's going to demonstrate for you what she's able to do that many of us may not be able to do. Tongue to nose, tongue to nose. And Daniela, you want to, oh, they're still talking about that. Okay, and does someone, you want to talk about the purple badge or?
One of the questions we got as blue badge members is why isn't there a purple badge? And we weren't sure, but one person thought it could be in between blue and red. And I thought, I didn't say it, but I thought it could be for the person who's president, to wear a unique collar.
No. Which people?
Okay, well, we learned that Tackett, our red badger, hits all three of his names are family names. So a lot of people have one or maybe two, but he's got all three of them. So that's very cool. A lot of recycling going on there. So now I guess
we're very focused on badges today. So I asked what was up with the laser cut wood badges and what do they signify? And yeah, Bela said he wouldn't. Yeah, Bela said he wouldn't file my return next year if he told me. So.
We have Victoria as the red badger at our table, but doesn't really count because we just learned it's going to be blue because she did her last thing, which was go to the Wednesday club meeting. So she'll be blue soon enough. So, well, she's still red. We asked if you have to tell them.
Okay, yeah. Knowing that.
Yes, so I just wanted to ask information on how to get hooked up with one of the committees. So they told me who to talk to.
No, I'll tell. So if you were in the state of Utah, you might have met her as an undercover agent if you were seeking prostitution. Sting operation.
I did let them know that during my year with working for the Utah State Police, I was a sting operation for solicitation. So I got to dress up in a lot of fun clothes.
But about the question about how do I get on the committee that I like, I said, well, at the beginning of a new Rotary year, we usually go around with the list of what people want and redo the list of what people want to be involved in committee-wise, and she'll have the opportunity to actually list her committees and see what some of them are about. Is that true? Right. Our short answer was ask Doug, so.
In your new member kit, there's a list and it usually tells who's in charge of the committee and just get in touch with them. Membership's always a great committee to be on. Okay. Which fun fact are we saying? Sunflowers. Oh, Susan has 5 different types of sunflowers in her garden. And then
I asked how many years everyone has been in Rotary. Jenny, I don't know. How many years have you been in Rotary?
Oh, my red badge till the end. And then I rejoined in 2021.
Perfect.
I originally joined in 2012.
Thanks for sharing. Want to make sure I had everybody. And the other thing was, how do I log into
DACDB? If anyone is having trouble logging into DACDB, just let me know. I can get you set up.
Also, I have a copy of the red badge checklist or blue badge checklist if anybody needs a new copy.
And today counts as a fireside. And I think DACDB is another secret society. How about this table? Did you guys do?
We did. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, we kind of did it. And so the fun fact, and Patricia did not really want to tell me anything about it. She was really fine, but I was able to squeak out of her that she has 3 children and 2 of them were born at home. And that was probably a pretty normal thing during our generation. So yes, good for you. And so I'm the definition of a purple badge. Because I got my red badge. I only have one more thing to do, which is go to another meeting. So I'm a little embarrassed. I haven't done that because I joined Rotary 3 years ago. So anyway, but I wanted to know about the district, more about what was going on in terms of trying to get younger people in. So.
Thanks, Patrice. Oh, I thought you said you were going to be counted for Becca.
You're being great.
Well, one of the coolest parts is, of course, I've known Becca for many years, but many of you don't know. Not only is she extremely creative, but she has her own business called Becca's Bakery, as well as being the branch manager of both North and South Grants Pass Banner Bank.
And I asked Jody, because she has been in Rotary for several years, what is one thing you would tell a new member about what is the most important thing about Rotary? And she said, find your passion and join the committee that follows that passion and get involved. So that was really great advice. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Well, we have 2 very interesting red badges with us. We have John, who was born in Grants Pass, and he and Debbie went to school together. And then Michelle is she's been in Grants Pass a long time. She came down here from Eugene 30 years ago, but I happen to know personally that of all of the young people in our community, some of them not so young anymore, probably any of them for the last 30 years, she has probably had more influence, positive influence in their lives than anybody I know in this community. So I salute her for that. So now you.
I'm speechless. I don't really know what to say. So thanks. Got 2 charter members here, Brenda and Debbie, who joined the club in, what was the exact date? May 9th, 1992. Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you, Becca. And we have a hand up, I think, or we did? Okay. Okay. Anyone from the Zoom connection? We used to have Kelly up there. Kelly Gonzalez is a red badge. I don't see up there. Okay. Okay, then. The Jack of Clubs is the winning card. And come back tonight at the Weekend Beer Company. And I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Oh.
Be waiting to the end. First of all, I want to tell everybody thank you. I am so appreciative. It was a huge lift. Our preliminary numbers, thanks to Jan and the entire team, were about 68,000. Yeah. So that's a 19% increase over last year. Huge increase. So just wanted to say.
Thank you for that, Daniela. Yeah, yeah, we haven't got the details, but we just know that it was a great PorchFest. Those of us who were there, that is just awesome. So, and I did have somebody leave this at PorchFest. So if you recognize it and you want it, we talked about now with all these fines going on, if you're not sitting at the right table, that maybe we would find the person who left it, or we could auction it off for our happy bucks today. What do you think? Anyway. Well, with that, I will say I'm very happy. So I'll throw in some happy bucks today. And then I'm going to leave you with two quotes. What lies ahead behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. And that was Ralph Waldo Emerson. And of course, he must have been a Rotarian to have stated that. And then starting today, I need to forget what's gone, the stress being on, appreciate what still remains, which is all of you, my fellow Rotarians, and look forward to what is coming, which is going to be a great year with Jenny as our president. So thank you for being here. Thank you for riding along with me this year, and I hope to see you this evening at the celebration.